Valorant or Minecraft or whatever it is, and then you're like, this is boring. I need the exhilaration flowing through my veins of Dota 2, and you come back, and then everything's changed. You get all into it again. You get excited, and patch notes come out. It's like Christmas again. All of a sudden, you're hooked. Dota 2 is a drug.
Who has
There's,
officially retired, like, and stayed retired? Do you know? Like,
I
are there
get,
any names that come to the top of your head? Because, like, a lot of these guys, they've left and they've come back, like we've said.
well, I mean, I could name some like some NA people, like Fluff and Stuff, for
Oh,
example.
Fluff and stuff, Liquid, never forget.
Although I do see him on Dota recently. He's been playing the custom game. What is it? Custom Hero Chaos. I actually
Mm,
saw him on Pog the other day on the
nice.
Suns fan game. So that's really cool.
Sunsfan totally didn't pay us to say anything about Pog on
No, no,
this.
but
No, no, I didn't. We're just
he's
memeing
my
over here.
he's my boy. Uh, yeah, so people are coming back, which is cool. Like I said, people don't really tend to quit. But
Nice.
anyway, we have a draft.
Yes, we do. And interesting to note that King Gaming bans out IO as their first ban. That's not something that we typically see out of a lot of the Chinese teams. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if they've been practicing a strat perhaps on Aster. I'm sure these two teams will scrim each other, but it does seem a bit of an odd choice for your first ban.
it does. I mean, I, I'm always an IO fan. I feel like no matter what the meta is, IO is IO. Like there is nothing like this hero in Dota. Um, it's different. I mean, prior to TI9, nobody thought that IO was good. And then all of a sudden, after TI9, IO is like the best hero in the game. This hero needs to get nerfed.
As a
Ana,
core, even too.
right, as a core, exactly. So I feel like you always have to be careful with IO. Like you always need to show the hero respect.
Mhm.
I feel the same way about like a Bat Rider. No matter how crappy the hero is in terms of just the numbers on his abilities, if you give Bat a free game, it's just over. It's literally just over. So it's just one of those heroes. And people are doing core IO, people are doing like Aghanim Scepter farming, Dom building, Satanic building, core IO, and man, once you get 25 and you get the talent where you can attack when your carry attacks,
Oh, that's
you're
ridiculous.
you're basically like two Giga heroes. It's really crazy good.
The technical term, two giga heroes. It sounds
Yes,
like you're making
precisely.
like a what is it? The what was it called from Power Rangers? The Megazord?
I have no.
Was that it?
I did not watch Power Rangers. I did not watch
Oh,
Power
okay.
Rangers.
All right, kid.
I mean, you know what? I might have seen one of the movies one time, and it's like this sucks, man. This isn't Lego.
If it was like the
I play
new
with my
movie,
Legos.
yeah, I don't blame you. But I do like the fact, we see the Mars picked up on Keen Gaming. I believe that's a denial pick. XXS. Oh boy, that's hard to say. Uh, he
Yeah,
plays so much Mars. It's one of his most played heroes, especially this patch. So by picking it up on Keen Gaming, they're taking it away from him and also just giving themselves a really solid hero. He's very popular in the meta. The DK gets picked up for Team Aster. Just a really solid pick, kind of the rock to build a draft around. Very flexible. That's
wow.
interesting.
Yeah, there's some synergy in these drafts. We got two dragons on Aster. There's two frost guys in this game, and then two red shielded knight dudes. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on here. I think there's a lot of mental games going on.
This
No,
is
I'm
some
just kidding.
top tier analysis,
Thank you, thank you.
folks.
But
I wonder, Lycan's still available, and they picked up the Winter Wyvern. Do you think
oh
that's
my god, I hate Lycan. I hate this hero, man. 67% win rate in pro level pubs. And you might be thinking, okay, Jenkins, there's no way that a hero can have a 67% win rate and a large enough sample size of games to make that meaningful in any way. He is in 10% of Dota games with a 67% win rate in pro level pubs. 10%. I mean, there's over 100 heroes in the game, right? So he's in a lot of games. Easily the most broken pub hero in Dota right now. And I'm glad you mentioned it, because I legitimately think that a lot of pro teams right now are massively underrating the Lycan for one reason or another. I really think Lycan is good. And we saw it in the last series. We saw it in the last game, in fact, and it looked really goddamn good. I think people are getting a lot better with Lycan. They're getting a lot better at microing the units. They're getting a lot better at figuring out what the right build is on Lycan, just rushing Necro versus rushing a Dom. Like I really think that hero is just absolutely nuts for like a fighting, pushing, brawling meta as well. So we'll see. I would love to see a Lycan.
Well, I know in the past too. I know that King Gaming values the Lycan, so that's why I was considering, the Winter Wyvern really good against Lycan, right? The fact that you've got the Splinter Blast that can help clear out waves very quickly, and also the fact that you can turn that entire menagerie that he brings with him against him. There's nothing more satisfying than when you can take a Lycan with his Necrobook units, with the Some of the Dom units, and then have them murder him.
True. Yeah, that's true. I mean, DK's pretty good against it too. It's like a, physical armor hero that's not really going to die to the Lycan, as well as once you get the splash, you can clear through all of the units, especially when you pick up the Aghanim Scepter. So, I mean, there's no Lycan in this game yet, so it's not a huge deal. I think this is a pretty solid Rubik game so far. You have the AA Blastosteel if you can manage to get that. Any of AA's spells are also pretty good, because if you pick up like the Cold Feet, you can lift somebody into Cold Feet, and it's just a ridiculous stun duration. It is going to last so long, as well as the Mars Spear, of course. That's always one of the nicest things that you can steal on Rubik, and it's quite easy to get to, just because it's so projected that he's going to cast this ability, and everything else that he can cast after it is which is basically just the Shield Smash or Shield Crash, whatever the hell it is. It's a longer cast animation, so you can easily steal it. So good Rubik game.
One of the other things I really like about Aster's draft currently is the fact that they have a method of wave clear for each one of these heroes. And especially in a pushing, brawling meta where your waves are constantly going to be pushed in against you, I feel like that's super value.
Yep, this is true. I definitely agree. It's nice to have heroes that can just go sit in one of the side lanes. Generally, right now, either you just run at the enemy team like complete maniacs to win the game, or you just play like hard split push. And there seems to be like no in between in the current patch, so that's why it's pretty nice to have heroes that can kind of just sit and occupy lanes. And okay, we have Mirana, the Mars Mirana combo. This is an interesting one. I played against this in a pub the other day. I was playing with Nusham, who's a buddy of mine. You guys may remember him from that. He was on an NA team. He was on that team that qualified, and then there was the kicking and whatever, that whole drama. Anyway, he was coming back to Dota after a while, didn't really know too much about like a lot of the new heroes. Played against Mirana Mars, and he's like, oh my god, I realized why this works. Because you Mars Spear somebody, and that pushes them away from like the creep wave, right? And that's going to also like kill the creep wave. And then that sets up for a long range arrow. It's not just like stun into arrow, it's stun that pushes somebody away into an area that's very easy to set up an arrow at a long range, and then you arrow. So it's this very interesting combo that is actually surprisingly potent, to use a caster buzzword.
It's perpendicular lines, right? They're just, intersecting perfectly if you do it right. That's the thing. And we've seen a lot of really cool plays where the arrow's been projected in a sense, where they see it coming in, and you see a support just stand in front of the arrow instead, right?
That does happen. Yeah, that's a solid play. I like when people do that, protecting like the range creep in the lane, because that's always the way that Mirana wants to win lanes, is by arrowing each range creep and then pushing the lane. Okay, Ember Spirit. I'm always surprised to see this hero getting picked up in like the last couple of picks, because I mean it's literally the most picked hero in this tournament with 95 pick ban rate. 95%, I should say. So it's in almost every single game. And speaking of 95% pick ban rate, no Timbersaw picked or banned, unless I'm blind. No, I mean, just ignored. So I do feel like, I mean, for either team, you could maybe get a last pick Timber if you're Team Aster here.
Yeah, if you're Team Aster, also, there's very little lockdown coming out from the side of King Gaming, and that's going to come back to bite them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they do have like weird pseudo lockdown where they have the AA and Mirana arrow,
but you can sidestep all that stuff.
This is true. Yes, definitely. If something like Nakes was like a stronger hero, I'd say, man, what a sick Nakes game this would be. But obviously, it's just super weak hero, one of the lowest win rate heroes currently. I mean, Jug for the same reason, but they likely have their carry. I think DK is probably going to be played in the carry position. That's typically these days, for whatever reason, people prefer to do the side lane DK. I guess just because like he's impossible to pressure
I
in a
think
side
it's
lane.
an off-lane DK, possibly.
That's also
'cause
possible.
I know that
yeah.
that's something they've played in the past on the side of Aster, which then leads me, the question mark, is this an Ember Spirit mid? And are they going to pick up a different safe laner here? Or could you put the Ember in the safe lane and then run something very, very mobile that's hard to catch?
Yeah, they have a lot of options. I imagine that they're just going to wait until last pick before they figure out what their last pick is. I'm sure they have some ideas, but it's just, you can also say the same thing about King Gaming. Like, you really don't necessarily know where the Mars is going to go. He could go mid, he could go off lane. Mirana could go mid. Like, there's some stuff that King Gaming can pull. I mean, it's less likely with the King Gaming lineup. So which is why I would actually say that I'm favoring the Aster lineup a little more. Okay, so now we know that's very likely a Razor mid, Mars offlane, Mirana 4, AA 5, and of course Terrorblade carry. And with that, I'm going to say this is the best Batrider game I've ever seen. This is like Batrider or Queen of Pain. These are the two cheese heroes that would be just insane against every single one of the cores of Queen or Bat will completely obliterate them. But we'll see. That's just not what they have in their mind for what they want in the draft.
I don't think we've seen a Batrider recently, Aster, but that's not to say that they won't opt to pick it up, because that is just a great hero. You were talking a lot about the IO, about how it's one of those heroes that does something that no other hero does. The same thing with the Batrider. I remember when I first started playing Dota, just Batrider constantly was getting nerfed, like nonstop getting nerfed, because he's literally the only hero that does what he can do, and it's just too good.
Well, there's another one. So. There's another one. His name's Pudge, and he does it as well. Don't forget about your boy.
Pudge, is that even a hero?
He's garbage. Yeah, it doesn't. That doesn't really count. But I see your point. I see your point.
But yeah, he got nerfed into the ground, and he still continues to get nerfs because he's just such a good hero. But they totally tell us to go flip off here.
I did not
and they
expect
pick up the Zeus.
Okay, I mean, I do like the Zeus still, just because, I mean, you're playing against Terrorblade. Zeus just nullifies that hero's existence because you tear through the Illusion Army with the Zeus spells. Not particularly great against Razor. I imagine there's kill threat from Razor, but if you can manage to get like an early boots on Zeus, or you just play the lane with like a bottle and you lightning storm, what the hell is it called? Lightning, the Q ability. What the hell? I haven't played Zeus in so long. Anyway, you zap out the wave, and then you don't have to worry about too much dying to the Razor. That's also a possibility. Like, I think the way that he plays the mid lane is going to be pretty important. Although is SCC there? He's the mid, right?
No, he's a safe laner. So XXS is going off lane with the Ember.
Right, XXS off lane Ember.
Yeah.
Mid Zeus, pretty expected lanes. DK versus Mars. DK is going to do fine in that. Mars will do fine. That's always a snooze fest lane, is any DK lane. And I think the mid lane is what we're going to be wanting to pay close attention to, because I do feel like Zeus is such a liability sometimes. And so both teams, like if you're Team Aster, you want to prepare to have your Zeus have a good game. You want to prepare to respond to the enemy team constantly trying to kill him. And if you're Keen, you know that, okay, the Zeus like nullifies your Terrorblade. If we can stop his game from being good, get Terrorblade some early farm, and get him an item advantage, then it's not as big of a deal in terms of counterpicking. If Zeus is having a bad game, it's like the hero feels really goddamn weak.
I think we're going to see some really good warding. Runes are going to be very important, so I think we'll see the supports really rotating to make sure that they can secure those. And also, they have a Mirana. When you have a Mirana, you know that somebody's coming to your lane. They're coming to the mid lane, they're going to gank, so just constantly be aware of it, have TPs ready. But it really depends on, how King Gaming goes about this, because they can just make a huge headache for that Zeus in the mid lane, because he just doesn't have an escape like a Quap or whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like the Zeus pick. I do have to say, like, I think for the game, if we're just hypothetically saying, okay, like, let's go to the late game or like even the mid game, and who's the best mid laner right now to pick? Zeus is probably up there in the top 3,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the Terrorblade and the fact that none of the King Gaming heroes do anything to Zeus past the laning stage. The laning stage is really all I'm worried about for our boy here, as we see him kind of doing a little cheeky D ward trick in the mid lane, checking for vision, but alas, nobody's
30
there.
seconds to battle.
Ooh, look at this! Look at this ward with AA.
Yeah, is this just scouting for...
This is usually a ward you place when you want to scout for lane rotations. As you can see, we have...
Look how fast he rotates. Oh my god.
Just look at Mars and Terrorblade. You can see that they're like... Terrorblade's playing on the bot lane and Mars is just sitting mid. So that's exactly why they have that ward. And they even put another one there to try to scout to see if... or sorry, that's actually the Radiant ward. But anyway, that ward's about seeing if... okay, where's Ember Spirit going? Where's Zeus going? Where are these heroes going so we can get the correct lanes? Because they are doing an aggro with Terrorblade, it seems.
Look at these wards, man. This is great. Like, as a support player, I really enjoy seeing this. You know, they plays that really deep ward. It immediately got spot out, though, because of this ward over here. This one here just made it so they could spot the AA moving over to place that deep ward, and it immediately gets taken down.
Yeah,
That's fun.
the old Murana ward. That's he was because I think they might have thought that Murana would play towards the bottom lane and then just try to arrow Zeus from behind because it's just such a free. It's such a free hero. You arrow Zeus, he is dead 100% of the time. I don't care what hero's in the lane with you. Zeus will die. It's interesting they do this aggro with TB, but I suppose it makes sense because you're playing into a DK, so you know that it's like a free lane. So why the hell not? You know, take the free lane for your carry.
I mean, wasn't it a bit of a free lane anyways? Like, if you've... I guess not. I guess it is a little bit more obnoxious going up against the Ember and the Rubik here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess...
Oh, that's a good arrow, though, coming out for YDS.
Just being a little annoying.
Push him off. There's no, I guess that's more of on a support item, right? Like, picking up the, Oh gosh, what is... my brain is not on yet.
Which
Poison.
Item? Poison?
The, Orb of Venom.
Orb of Venom. Oh,
That's it.
Oof,
Sorry.
For the classic Oov.
Ooh, I guess that's more of a support. Although I have seen, we've talked about it before too, seeing some of these Embers pick up the Blightstone and sliding the wave.
Oh, so annoying. That's so annoying.
It's very powerful, very potent.
It's very good. It is. I mean, the hero just has 61 base damage, so. Well, 61 base damage at level 2, but you get what I'm saying. Like he does a lot of damage if you pick up a Blightstone. Sometimes it can just be a replacement for a. Ooh, XXS walking into the spear to protect his Rubik. I like
we
that.
Talked about.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm surprised that Ember didn't really get any nerfs. I feel like this is a hero that's like super hot right now.
He did get a little bit where they reduced the they increased the cooldown on his Searing Chains, which might not seem like a lot, but it's this hero is all about like uptime on his spells, so it is something. Also, he didn't get any of the talent buffs when
He got one talent buff, didn't he? Like his slight damage got increased.
Yeah,
like later on, but
so the damage got decreased in the level 10 talent, but then the slight damage got increased at level 20. So they kind of like took the damage and then put it towards later a later spell.
Xiaofun, I should be fine. He's pretty tanky. Pretty quiet lanes otherwise, though.
Yeah. We're all chilling. I mean, the bot lane is going to be so easy for either team. DK versus Terrorblade. Good lord.
I mean, you do have to be careful with these supports, too, if they get caught in a bad spot, or if
That's
the Mirana
true.
makes a rotation. But it looks like, you know, Mirana's very occupied here with Fade, and he's dishing it right back at her, so...
The whole jungle support battle for literally no reason.
This jungle ain't big enough for the both of us.
The Mirana's like, I'm wasting the Rubik's time, and then the Rubik's just like, I'm wasting the Mirana's time.
Yeah.
They're both just so stoked.
It's good, though, because also, you know, if you can keep tabs on the Mirana, she's not going to another lane. She's not ganking your Zeus, right?
Definitely. I definitely think that favors Fade in this trade. Like, I think Fade is fine with this.
Oh man, if they fight up here and there's no rune at the 4-minute spot. Oh, it is though. It is. They'll be able to secure it. Fade. Oh, the arrow coming in, but it doesn't matter. Chuan throws out that big old lightning bolt and cleans up the Mirana for first blood.
Yeah, that's a level 3 bolt. You can't survive that.
Especially not sitting as low as she was at that point.
Zeus does a lot of damage. It's easy to forget because this hero hasn't really been in the meta for quite some time now, so easy to underestimate because he just hasn't been played too much, but this hero just poops out damage.
You know who always, like, I always forget how much damage one of their spells actually does? It's Mirana, because Mirana's Starfall is so pretty. It just looks like little, like, bloop coming down, right?
Pretty colors.
It's pretty,
Holy shit,
yeah.
I'm dead.
And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, that did so much damage.
Yeah, if she gets you with like the second Starfall proc,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Boboka might be dead here. No, they're not going to hard commit on it. Okay. All right.
I mean, the arrow does a lot of damage now too with the damage buffs to it. So I've gotten hit by that thing, and it's like, what was I like amplified by something? What is this? But no, it just does a lot of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Mirana's a pretty solid hero right now. She's in a good spot.
Now this has brought a lot of attention down to the bot lane, where it seems like the two immovable forces for the most part, right? You've got the Terrorblade, and of course you've got DK. But that's leaving a lot of time open here for Xiaofu and XXS here in the top lane. Which one are you more concerned about getting this more comfortable farm?
I mean, I would normally be more concerned about Ember getting more comfortable farm in a side lane, but because I feel like Mars is going to get it regardless. Like, Ember's more easy to shut down. So I think if you're XXS up here and you're just chilling against a Mars and able to farm, then you're okay with that. But now that Mars is level 6, he has to be really careful on Ember. Like, this hero is level 6 power spike it's something else, man. It's like Doom. You just pick one person and you kill them with the ulti. Very annoying.
Blood picking up the Arcane Rune after a little scuffle in the top rune spot. I do like the way that Fade has been making these rotations, but the supports down here have just been super occupied. They haven't been able to help out at all in securing. You can see Razor making his rotation, does have Eye of the Storm. Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure on this tower, but we do have the two supports on the side of Aster making their way over. They've got great deep push as well, coming out in the form of Boboka.
It looks like Razor's just... He's
doesn't need to
chilling
be
in the
here.
area. Yeah, well, I get it. Like, they wanted to push with the catapult timing and the TB meta, but then with both the supports already predicting that and being there, it's not possible into a Rubik Wyvern. Like, you're just going to waste your time, and they realized that. But I think they were hoping that, like, Rubik would be elsewhere, and they could force his TP, but he was just already there.
But they saw he was down there already. I'm a little surprised about that. The arrow lands over onto Chuan, but they're not going to move on that. We do force the TP, though, out of Fade.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's that was what they were looking for and hoping for here.
Chuan's actually going for Boots of Travel, even though it has been arguably nerfed with how Zeus liked to play with the bots before, which is you would TP to Fountain using a teleport scroll and then use your bots to get back into the lanes and just essentially have infinite mana because of the Fountain regen. But now that's a little bit harder because, of course, it shares a cooldown with the TP. It just reduces it. So now you have to TP back and then walk at a base, which obviously takes a lot longer, especially on a slow guy like Zeus.
Yeah, he's not the swiftest of heroes.
No, he's not bad. He's not bad though. It's, you know, there's worse heroes. He's
Could
not
be a
quite
Crystal Maiden.
Yeah. He could be the Wolves of Icerack for sure.
Swifter than the Wolves of Icerack. Oh, here we go. Chuan gonna find YDS over here on the side. The leap forward immediately. So that is a failed smoke gank here. And look at this. Also, Razor just wandering over here into the jungle. He's already used that Eye of the Storm, I'm guessing, to kind of farm up. And he's in the vicinity, so if they try to do anything too cheeky on the side of Aster, they will have to reckon with the Razor. Oh, that sounds like a good band, too. Reckon with Razor.
Reckon with the Razor.
Oh, the arrow? Still connected? Interesting. Right? Oh, read out Blood Xiaofu. He wants to see if he can get this kill, but he's not going to be able to. They'll turn back around. They'll get the kill on XXS, and they'll find a kill on Fade. Thanks to a rotation here.
I gotta say that Flame Guard paid dividends in that fight. It really looked like he was dead with that arrow, but 360 magic absorb, including resistance, is pretty insane. So they do get the Mars kill. They trade 2 for it, but I mean, you're probably okay with that if you're Aster, just because of all the rotations that you forced out.
Mirana's found this big ol' stack over here that Zeus has been making for himself. Blood also rotating. Looks like we're gonna see some pincering.
Oh, Boboka,
Try to make
that's not
moves
where you want to
immediately
be.
over onto Zhao Fu, but on the back lines we have a whole other fight going on as they're chasing after Boboka. They'll find the kill on Zhao Fu. And it's gonna take a while to take down Boboka. They might be able to turn this here. Fantasy making his way over. He's also gonna get taken down. There's this light forward here coming out from XXS. Looking for that opening. Blood being able to take a lot of that damage, but the nuke's coming out. Fade is here. He's got the lift. They toss up over to the side. They'll be able to grab him now. YDS. He's trying to run away. He does have a TP. Looks like he's gonna try to TP out. Do they have the vision? They don't. So
No.
Mirana will survive that, but they'll lose a handful of heroes on the side of Keen. And only one on the side of Aster.
Zeus stacks up again, gets the bounty rune. Time to farm, my dude.
He's got it though, because they spied out that big stack that he
They
had,
did?
right?
Not the fastest stack farming hero though, as we can see. I don't know if he can
He could
actually
have
do
Boboka
this.
come help him.
He could. But
I guess he
okay.
doesn't want it though. He's
Opting
got
to
bigger
give
fish
it.
to fry, right?
Yeah, I think SCC's cool with taking that too. I mean, he's got nothing better to do, so. Nope, just ignoring the stack. All right.
All right.
Okay.
This is making a lot of space though down here for Erica. He's taken the tower now. He's just taken over parts of their jungle, farming up. So the Terrorblade's got to be very happy about all this because they've been fighting a lot, but it has not included him. So he's just been allowed to hit creeps, whereas
True,
everyone else
but-
has been scuffling.
The nice thing about having a Zeus on your team versus a TB is that you never really need to worry about him as a win condition. Oh, SCC. you
Yeah,
are.
they use the Moonlight Shadow. They've got the Ice Blast to boot. That's a dead dragon, right? Oh, it looks like, nope. Thought maybe YDS was trying something cheeky over here.
See, Mars is
There
one of
we
the
go.
few heroes that does not care about how tanky a DK is, because physical resistance does nothing to a absolute crap ton of magic damage. It's the
Alright,
same
this-
thing with like the Timbersaw matchup versus Mars. It's a strength hero versus Timber, but once you get 6, I feel like Mars can kill almost any hero in Dota with just a little bit of help.
Now the stack gets taken by XXS, so that's probably why the Zeus was leaving it there. And the Wyvern got a little bit of gold off of it too. Gosh, I want this Wyvern to get her level 6. I feel like that's going to be really big, especially when, you know, the Arena of Blood comes out, right? Everybody's in a small enclosed space anyway, so
Yeah.
why not have them turn on each other and save your bros?
Who took the tome? I think it was Fade. Fade's level 6. It's level 7, almost 8. Greedy position 4.
Hey, it's a pretty good good thing for a Rubik. Man, the YDS really wants this kill, but Fade in the vicinity will dissuade.
Missed the Starstorm. I mean, it's hard to on Mirana get a solo kill like that. It doesn't. You want it to happen, you know. It's always flashy. It feels good, but it's really hard to solo kill people with this hero. It feels like she just doesn't have exactly enough damage to kill people from full, even a support.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Unless you hit some like sick arrow, but even then,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Chuan's got his boots of travel now. We also have a Spirit Vessel on XXS. That's a pretty solid timing. TB's got his he's got his Yasha, and he's getting closer to the Manta, but that's not really a timing that he's going to want to fight around because he's against a Zeus. So BKB is his timing. I think you just ignore the fact that there's even a Dota game going on if you're a TB until you have the BKB. Otherwise, you just can't play into the Zeus. You could even argue for a Blink Dagger as well before you play the game, because then you can blink on the Zeus and BKB and kill him, and then all of a sudden, not a counter anymore if he's dead.
Well, I think Erica's doing exactly what you've been saying. They're not really interested in bottom lane, though. They'll use the Winter's Curse to hold YDS into place. They'll follow up maybe a little bit early with that Dragon Tail, and I thought Chuan was going to try to snipe that from in the fountain, but doesn't get the last hit.
Dire's
It's
top tower
gonna be
is under
Boboka.
attack.
The nice thing about using the Thunder God's Wrath now, though, to just do a little bit of damage, is that XP is global. So if you do damage, you get XP for it. And before, that literally was not the case with Zeus. Like, you had to steal kills, which kind of didn't really feel right, you know, to steal kills when you had zero contribution to them whatsoever. Almost zero.
Yep.
Yeah, that would really piss your team off sometimes. Dude, stop
Sometimes. It's a lot of times in my pubs anyways, but... Do you have a smoke? Oh, they turned their attention immediately over here to Blood. They have the detection. You also buy him a little bit more time. There's that arena that we talked about.
Ooh,
Don't have
arena.
enough damage, though. Razor's going to be able to make it out alive. The arrow nicely sidestepped, but they follow up with a big snowball. Zhao Fu sitting very low. That Spirit Vessel should be able to get a kill, but they'll also be able to take down Blood. Oh, gosh, and Fantasy getting the kill post afterwards, you know, here with Chuan shattering.
He just dropped at the shatter, yeah. I love that Chuan chose to nuke the Razor, who came back in instead of the Mars. Like, he didn't just take the free kill from the Mars. He actually killed the Razor, which let him arc lightning the Mars as well. So he gets 2 for 1 there, which I think you're pretty happy with if you're Zeus, picking up both of those kills on 2 cores. And yeah, it's you're alive for the kills, and then a support gets a kill on you after you're dead. You don't really care that much. If there's like an over-leveled AA in your game, I don't think you care that much about that hero.
Well, again, it's one of those situations, if you know you're going to die anyways, hit your buttons, use your spells. Unload everything that you can, and hope that it at least helps your team out, even if it doesn't necessarily help you out personally at that time.
I think he actually could have survived there, but he just kind of chose the suicide for the 2 core kills, which maybe I'm insane, but I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like if you're a Zeus, you're super cool just getting those levels.
Radiant's middle tower is under
He also has his Aether Lens as well.
Looks like Erica's headed back off to the jungle. I want to know why he decided on the name Erica. And like the other, what was it? Yesterday, was it C deck that has Victoria?
Radiant are scanning.
I want to know why these names.
I mean, they're good names. They're good names.
They are.
There's,
No, I'm just curious. It's a.
Is under attack.
There's this lady at the subway that we go to, and she's Indian, and she said that because she moved to Canada, she had to choose a name, and her name is Gemini, and I think that's such a cool name, and she changed it to Jimmy because that's more of like an American kind of Canadian name, and I was just like, dude, Gemini is cool as hell. What are you choosing Jimmy for? But it's sometimes you just go with the other gender name, and that's life,
That happens with a lot of minorities. I worked for a Korean lady, and she had just hired another Korean lady, and she's like, oh, we need to pick out a name for her. And she's like, what do you think of the name Aurora? And I was like, what? I was like, Laura? She's like, no, Aurora. And I was like, I couldn't figure out what she was saying. Hold that thought. They're going to be going uphill into a smoke right now, and XSS is going right for Blood, but he's separated so far away from the rest of the team. He's going to have to turn back around. They'll be able to go take out Zhao Fu, and they're looking for more. Can they grab Blood fast? No, he's got that Yule's. We'll throw out the Remnant. They're trying to catch up. They're trying to get this Winter's Curse off, possibly. Winter Wyvern, Boboka trying to find this angle, but...
Blood's fast. Oh, he turned around!
Yes, he manages to go. He grabs an arrow thrown out, easily sidestepped and dodged. They'll be able to find another kill here, going over to Aster. See?
You greedy! Why'd you turn around?
I think it must have been a misclick. Yeah?
Maybe
that didn't
he clicked
look
on
like...
the map. I mean, he pressed his Q, so I think maybe he was like farming or something, but he didn't. Oh, you know what it was? Okay,
what?
he was just using the Q to slow, but he didn't realize he was standing directly on top of this ward here at the top lane. So I think it was he got around the trees and he Q'd to slow them because he's like, of course I'm out of vision here, but he just wasn't. A Chuan? Oh god, if he dies solo to Erica, that is not good.
Look at the TPs coming out immediately. They're like, we got to get it out of here.
Yeah, okay.
Haste
he's
gets popped.
He's too fast. That would not be a good. That would not be a good death.
Fade finding the kill, and that's going to be an arena of blood coming out here. They'll buy a little bit more time. They've already used that Winter's Curse. Boboka is going to get frozen up into place. Fade will get taken down. They'll find another kill here onto Boboka, but they'll be able to take down Zhao Fu. Blood now trying to run away. They do have the Spirit Vessel charge over on him, and they might be able to find this kill, although the XSS is a little bit deep here, and it's a totally split up fight, right? You've got Chuan over on the side. Blood gets himself a triple kill as they keep chasing after Fantasy, chasing after Blood. There's Fantasy. Fantasy's gonna make it out alive. SCCC needs to be careful. He could actually just go down here. As Erica
big
TP's
boys
over.
here.
He finds a kill. XSS will eventually find the kill on Razor, but everybody going in different directions here.
All right, Aster. No more diving if you want to win this game. That was nuts. That was wild. Seeing
That
the
was
Zeus
3 different
walk
fights
into the
on at
tower.
once.
Yeah, but it's all in enemy territory though. Is the problem? You know, it's real easy for King Gaming to just TP in and wipe them there with how much they committed. I mean, Zeus walked into tower with AA cold feet on and took like each tower hit was like 10% of his HP, and then Razor walks in like okay, takes the kill with his Q. Not good. I mean, I understand the Ember Spirit diving, but the other heroes, he kind of baited them a little bit into diving there.
Yeah. Perhaps a little bit too excited about all
And
that.
then the DK, the exact same thing happens with the DK. He gets stuck in the tower with the cold feet. Big boy TB comes in. He says, "Don't mind if I do. Take a free kill here on a core on the enemy carry."
I mean, that was a great fight, but oh, Fantasy was going for the rune, but unfortunately for him, Aster was sitting there waiting. It looks like Erica, though, you know, he happily collected a free kill there, but he's not going for the BKB Jenkins. He's actually headed for getting himself the Scotty.
I mean, once again, we saw this yesterday from Vici. Sometimes you just want to play for like a later BKB timing because you're okay with farming, or you feel like just at the current damage numbers and with how Zeus is doing that I can survive the Zeus damage with just raw HP. But I mean, eventually he's of course going to get a BKB unless his game is really damn good, which is possible. I mean, he's got a 4K difference between him. I mean, closer to 3K difference between him and the next guy in line in terms of net worth. So, sure, maybe no BKB for a bit, but I feel like at a certain point, it definitely enters into your mind as a consideration as TV versus Zeus. But I definitely don't mind the Scotty first for sure.
Okay. Scan gets used in the top lane. Looks like they figure there's got to be more than just Chuan showing up over here in lane. Feint trying his best to just stay out of vision during all of that.
Erica just comes back to the spot lane, starts hitting creeps.
It's
again.
been a good lane to him. He hasn't had to do... He's basically been left completely alone for the last, what, like 15 minutes, I'd say? They find a nice kill, though, onto
Another Mars
Boboka
ulti.
as they use the Arena of Blood. Fade managing to steal Bulwark.
Not a good ability.
Not the greatest ability for Rubik, but it doesn't matter here. Xiaofu will get taken down. XXS looking for any stragglers, won't be able to find any. And it looks like they'll start putting a little bit more pressure on this mid tower. It's been a slow tower taking game, it feels.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like both teams are really quick to TP in and fight to defend their towers. I mean, this mid tower is just so important because it opens up access to both of the jungles and to Roshan, as well as you can smoke across the map when the mid tower is dead. So it's quite important to keep those alive if you can.
Scotty completed now for Erica. So he's got another item underneath his belt. I would like to possibly see the BKB coming out, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to be a little greedy. I just get this feeling off of it.
I get the gut feeling too that he's going to be a little greedy, but I mean also, logic dictates that he should go for a BKB at this point.
Right.
With these items, like what else is he going to get?
A butterfly?
Heart. No way, no way. Against all magic damage, that'd be crazy.
That's true. Oh, Fade,
Oh,
Fade.
God.
Oh, poor Fade.
The bulwark was actually protecting him a little bit there.
Boboka
Not
also
bad.
just needs to get out of this neighborhood. Oh, but the spear? That's such a weird interaction. You can actually spear people out of your own ultimate if you're not
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
quite on it. Yeah.
It's the same thing with Batrider. If you spear him into trees, his fire while he's fire flying, the firefly just destroys the trees as he gets speared. So you can't, you just
It's a weird
can't.
interaction.
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh,
feel
Dota. What a
great.
game. BKB does just get picked up for the DK now, so they'll probably be looking for a skirmish as soon as their Rubik's back up. Maybe reclaim some of this ground, because the side of King Gaming, they're playing very tight right now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's all they need to do. They've got a TB who's huge.
Yeah.
He can kind of play on his own and then connect with them. So they don't really need to be split. Okay, he is going for the BKB. Thank the Lord Gaben. I mean, once again, I've faith in all of these players that they, if he's not going for a BKB, it's because he's going for like the later timing. I think if this is like NASA, it might be different, but Chinese tier 2, tier 1 is. I mean, all these teams are pretty damn strong. There aren't many questionable.
Oh boy,
teams.
this is gonna be a big fight. They open up with the Zeus ultimate to jump for it, but they have the BKB over on Blood now. SAPPHIRE, he has to run away. Xiaofu drops this arena, and it's mostly just to try to separate this fight, but they have their own BKB. Xiaofu will be the first to fall. SAPPHIRE will be the next. So YDS, they're looking. They've got the... Yeah, they'll be able to take down Fantasy. Blood's so low. XXS, he really wants this. He's got the Remnant. Is he going to be able to get over there? He does a little bit more damage, and he will be able to find the kill. Now YDS will be the next person on the hit list of this Ember Spirit.
It's just Erica alive here.
What the?
Dude, he
Yeah,
can
what is,
die.
why is he all the way back here?
He's going to get Winter's Cursed. Oh, no, he's not going to get Winter's Cursed. He doesn't get it off.
Okay, that's...
We do have a Nimbus on Zeus.
The illusion so he can farm too.
He has a Nimbus on Zeus, so he can't TP out here. Dude, Erica's dead. I don't know how he survives this.
I don't know why Erica's over there. He's got... Oh, he's not going to be able to get the Sunder off. They get the lift.
Wow. That is disastrous for Keen Gaming.
Why did... Yeah, the My Bad immediately getting dropped by Erica. I'm a little surprised why he went in on that.
I think he was just looking for like a quick pick on the Wyvern and then get out of that fight, but I'm pretty sure he didn't expect the Zeus to have the Aghanims, and then the moment he sees the Ags in the Zeus's inventory, all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I can't TP out.
Yeah.
Because literally anywhere you go, he's going to press the Nimbus on you. So without the BKB, which he desperately wishes at this point that he had went for a BKB first. Without the BKB, he cannot TP out against the Zeus. It's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much damage from Aster right now. Like this Zeus and the Ember are just absolutely obliterating in these fights. I mean, DK hasn't done anything. It's like, I mean, it's DK, right? So it's like, this is what he's supposed to do, run in with a BKB and die, and then set up for his team. That's fine. But good lord, this Ember, like XXS is really carrying this. Like he split that fight. Free
Nice
pick
pick off here. They'll be... Oh, they managed to grab Fade, but they don't manage to grab Chuan. Fade's just running around in circles. Xiaofu can't land an arrow. He can't do anything. He just used that arena for blood for his own death right now.
Dire's top tower is under
That
attack.
kind of keeps happening with him, where he goes in with the arena and then it looks kind of nice, and then you're like, oh wait, where's his team? There's nobody there.
Well, I guess you kind of figure maybe I can hold them for the rest of the team to show up, but maybe the team decides they don't want to be there. I just like the tippy taps of Fade running around in circles
Dire's
around
top
this
tower
poor
is
Mars
under
who's just
attack.
trying to get a spear, trying to do anything, and he just cannot.
He really wanted to get the Zeus there, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's very quick on the Zeus with the travels.
God, XXS is playing this not like he's playing it like a mid, honestly, the way that he's just moving around.
And that's kind of
It's kind of cool.
I mean, that's kind of how you play. Like Ember is in this weird spot where it kind of feels like no matter what role he's in, even if it's a support, you play it like a mid. You know, like it just turns out it's just a really good way to play him. Like everybody's maxing the Flame Guard in the offlane now, which was absolutely not, and even as a support sometimes, which absolutely was not the way that people were playing him as an offlaner. They were kind of playing him differently, but then they realized like, oh, mid Ember just builds offlane items anyway. Like this Vessel BKB, like these are utility items, you know? They're not, and they also happen to do damage because it just works really well with his kit. So I mean, Ember's just I mean, there's a reason this hero is the most pick banned in the tournament. It's pretty broken.
And yet it still somehow manages to slide into the second pick. Okay, it's like
Shockingly.
Shockingly. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it's because there's only one ban between first and second phase now, so that ban is usually going to be targeted at something that's like more cheesy rather than like an Ember, who's a pretty standard hero. But good God, XXS is making it look really good.
All right, this is going to be the BKB reveal coming out of Erica now. You can see they've smoked up. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. Do have some nice vision, though, placed on the side, but still have the smoke, so the ward's not going to detect them. Another ward
They
placed
did
down
ping
for the
though.
vision.
Fade saw. I don't know how Fade saw. I think he saw in the corner with this ward in the middle. He
Maybe.
saw the smoke.
Okay.
And he draws the line, so he says they're in the jungle right now.
They refreshed the ward over here on the side too, expecting that they must be over there.
A very good ward for defending this Radiant jungle into the triangle kind of play.
Is under attack.
Like, you know that ward's going to give vision to them eventually, because that's exactly where Dire is. Like, that's the only path that they can take to get to Radiant.
The sentries are really, oh look at that, they just go, they drop the Zeus ultimate just for scouting. They know where they are, but just for good measure, just in case they're smoked up and they're moving across. Yeah, I love these sentries though, the way that they pair up just with this vision, so that way they can keep tabs if it's the Moonlight Shadow and they're trying to move that way without any sort of smoke.
True,
Although
and then also this
pretty good about that though on the side.
They
of
have
Keen,
been,
right?
yeah. They've been doing the double, which is pretty cool. It's a cool strat. Really anticipating the high level warding. YDS just chilling. I mean, it's he sees that the arrow came from the trees. Doesn't go for the Nimbus or anything though.
Guess he just doesn't think it's really worth his time. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, suppose so.
They do have they had some vision over here in the jungle, so they know where some of these heroes are. They've shown up in lane too, so I don't know. But everybody's pretty quiet right now. Everyone's back to farming. What do we see? What do we have on these cores? Halbert's been completed now for the DK. XXS. Still the same stuff for now. Get a Moonlight Shadow, though, coming out from the side of Keen, so maybe doing a little bit of scouting. They don't have any wards, though, over on the side of the, well, they see where Boboka is, but...
Or they go for the smoke as well?
This feels risky. I guess maybe just to put more vision down? Fantasy doesn't have any wards, though.
They would really like to fight around this TB-BKB. He has not gotten to use this yet. But the Radiant is not having it. They're just fine with chilling in their triangle. They're just slowly farming up a storm. Dude, XXS, what? He has a full Radiance?
Did he finish that now?
Yeah,
Oh my
he's
God.
huge.
This is a
Lordy,
big
lordy.
boy.
Oh yeah. And now they go to fight. They have
I
BKB
like-
on DK, they have BKB on XXS. They're ready to go.
They go up into the high ground. YDS immediately leaping double time, but oh, it doesn't matter. Fate, he manages to grab her up at the last second. You can see Ember, XXS, he's jumping forward. He's waiting, but he's getting his own fight over here as he takes down Fantasy single-handed. YDS will fall on the back line. Both the supports down. This haste string coming in handy here for the Ember Spirit.
That right there is like the difference between an 8k MMR player and a less than 8k MMR player. Is that like I don't. It is such a ballsy but good play to jump past the immediate pickoff to go for the backline like that, because you have the haste, because you have the BKB, just kind of like looking for more, like kind of calculating that you know that you're gonna get that kill anyway, and because all of your instincts are telling you, like, you smell blood in the water, right? You go straight for that Mirana. But XXS, he calculated, you know, and he was able to ignore his instincts and be disciplined and jump past, even though it kind of looks like the least disciplined play, but it really is. It always interests me to see stuff like that happen, because you literally don't see that happening in anything other than like the top games.
I think also it's the idea that maybe, you know, you're not able to catch that Mirana as well, right? The fact that you're a little bit further ahead too. So it's like a double. I feel like Dota, you know, it's all about the efficiency. So you can do multiple things.
Oh, like if the Mirana like gets the leap off, you're gonna get her anyway, basically.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to grab her.
agree.
You get some information about, you know, because that's so risky. Going uphill
Totally,
and not having the
totally.
vision.
Yeah, but he's got a BKB, he's got a
True.
haste, and
And
he's
he's
an
an
Ember,
Ember Spirit.
so I think he's really confident in his ability to survive. And no, I definitely think you're right in that there's like a part of that is the fact that it also covers the base. If the Mirana did get another leap off, he's just there, and he'll kill her. Like either way, he's gonna get kills, which is exactly what makes it such a beautiful play. Is that there's so many factors to it that he's considering all at once because of course he has so much experience with the game.
Radiant's
But
top tower is under attack.
God, it's nice Dota. It's really nice Dota to see stuff like that happen.
I also feel like part of that is kind of mental, right? The kind of like the haka used to just intimidate. Like, I don't care. I'm not worried about any of this. Where you just run in with your face, and the enemy team's like, oh my God, what do they know that we don't? What do they have? Do they have an item? What's going on?
True. No, I legitimately think like you have to play Ember like that to make it. Well, maybe you don't have to. The hero's broken, but I think that's like the best way to play Ember.
Right.
I remember we were casting like a couple weeks back, and
Look at SCCC. Oh, he wants this
no, he didn't
Mirana,
get
but
him.
she's out.
But we were watching Schofield, and Schofield would constantly go on Ember and just like run right in front of people, do a little dance, and then they'd cast spells on him, and then he'd remnant out. And it's like, did he need to do that little dance? No, but he's baiting them to do shit, right? Like he's
He's
making
bullet
them
sponge, so to speak, minus the
Yeah,
bullets
he's-
unless you're sniper.
like this hero taunting and psychology is legitimately really important because this hero is all about wasting time. So I totally agree with your points,
Radiant
100%.
are scanning.
MKB picked up now from Terrorblade. It feels like King Gaming keeps wanting to take these fights, right? But they're never getting them on their terms. They're never getting this big grand team fight to show, like, look at our Terrorblade, look at how massive he is. It's just constantly pick off after pick off.
Yep, true. And the later and later this goes, I mean, you have the Zeus who's going to eventually get that arc lightning damage talent. And that's when TB feels pretty bad.
We do get another BKB timing, though, coming out now from Xiaofu, so a lot of that magic damage and the lockdown not going to be able to keep him in place when he does, go in with that Arena of Blood. If he decides to use it as a way of containing them or just separating the fights, he is going to be able to have his own little insurance policy, as long as he's quick with the fingers, right?
Yeah, he does really need that item. I mean, so many times he's gone into these fights and just melted to the Zeus, to the vessel. So, big pickup from him.
I feel like we haven't talked at all about blood here.
I mean, it's a razor. This is the thing. I feel similarly about Mars. This is just kind of like the TB show at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He just consumes all of the farm on the map, and it leaves his other cores to basically just take the scraps. So this is kind of TB plus 4 supports. I mean, it's just the nature of the hero, right? It's nothing against the other 2 core players of King Gaming. It's literally just how TB functions. He's just the big boy. He's the god, and you protect him. And you get a BKB, and you're very grateful if you can get a BKB on these other cores. Thank you, Master TB.
Thank you
giving
for
me the
allowing
farm.
me. Yeah, pretty much. Moonlight Shadow getting
Please,
submitted
sir.
here.
Can I have some more?
They're gonna back off on the side of Aster. They do have a sentry ward, but it's placed on the low ground.
Aster is not interested in fighting unless it is a 100% clear good fight for them, which very disciplined.
Coming up. Oh, nice scouting ultimate here. I can see exactly where everyone on King Gaming is. They see they're all grouped together, and they're just like, yeah, we don't need to take this right now.
They did pop the black DK form, the Aghanim Scepter DK form from SCC.
Does he have a sword in the middle of him?
I love this Ags. Yeah, it does look like it.
His face is terrifying too. Oh my god.
Is that
I've
a
never seen
glitch,
this
or is that
set.
part of the cosmetic? Oh no, that's definitely part of the cosmetic.
I've never seen this set. Oh my god.
I feel like he'd be dead if that sword is just right. That's like right dead center of mass, like he's...
It's again the intimidation factor, right? Just look at me. I took a sword through the middle and I'm still standing.
Yeah, exactly. Really
Also, I have a
important.
really goofy grin on my face. It's the grin that's throwing me off with this too. It's got a lot of teeth.
Definitely the least intimidating part of this set.
Yeah, he's a toothy boy. He clearly whitens his teeth too. My goodness.
Wait, that was not his teeth. That was the inside of his mouth was white.
What?
I think he had big black teeth.
It looked like.
Alright, we'll see.
I don't know. I don't know.
Double damage.
Because if you're looking at that and you're seeing a big smile, I can understand why you're thinking this is a dumb DK set.
That's what I'm seeing.
It's like one of those optical illusions where you see something in like the shadows that's not there.
It's possible. It's possible, but when I looked at it, I just saw a big old toothy grin on that DK, and it looked like it was supposed to be kind of frightening. Like, you could see the big incisors, but I don't know. Double damage, though, on Erica. I feel like and the Satanic, they want to take a fight.
with a leveler. Oh god, if you could somehow get in front of the enemy base with this, you're gonna shred.
Here's the smoke. Can they no, they can't. I was gonna say, can they at least like try to do Roche or something, like try to sneak it, but double damage is over. They've got the leveler, like you said, they've got the Satanic freshly picked up now for Erica. They just haven't been able to find a fight on their terms. That is a big problem here for Keaton Gaming, because they've got a Terrorblade who would love to. It's like when you get something really nice and shiny and new,
Oh
and you're
god,
like, I
Chuan.
can't wait to show. Oh, Chuan though, arrow. Oh, but
Oh,
the
just
BKB
the
comes
arrow.
out. He's gonna be able to make it out alive. SCCC is here. He's a big tanky boy. They go and they drop the Nimbus lift up over onto Jafu. They can't do anything about Erica right now. They should be able to get the kill onto Chuan, but over on the back lines, SCCC is gonna get a lot of that damage. Drain Fantasy will get taken down. There's no Ice Blast. They'll be able to hold KG. Oh my god, Blood, he's melting to Erica. They go and they drop the arena trying to just make some space over here, but Erica, he's sitting so very, very low. What the heck is happening with the Mirana? Mirana, okay, she's going to be able to TP out, but they'll find the kill on the Terrorblade, and they are going to be able to find Xiaofu here. It's a disaster for Keen Gaming.
Is that all?
Well, they got the Zeus.
Quick
but
fingers, holy.
the instant buyback from him too, just jebaiting Erica into. I mean, yeah, you're right. The quick fingers on him, and also just the unfortunate miss on the arrow timing made it so that Erica had to chase deep into the base to kill the Zeus. But I understand. I mean,
separated the entire time. Like you've got a Mirana. You know, I can't
Yeah.
even see Mirana on my screen. I'm trying to watch this team fight, and I just see Mirana totally off by herself, and everyone else is fighting very, very forward.
right. And once again, XXS, really beautiful splitting of the fight by him, where he just goes straight for the back lines. He killed the AA first. I mean, when a Radiance BKB Flame Guard Ember runs at you and vessels you as an AA, you're just like, F my life, you know, you're done. You're just done at that point.
It doesn't feel good. This AA just can't be anywhere near this fight.
Fallen to the radiant.
Well, that'll be the Aegis picked up, Chuan. A god with more immortality.
Yeah, that's I mean, he needs that. He's got the no buyback now, so. And now he has the level 25 talent, so he's got the arc lightning damage if he wants it, which I would assume
does, yeah, he
okay, he
takes
does
it.
go for.
No way he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you maybe, who knows. 225 cast range. No,
Look at
that's not true.
SCCC's health with the Witless Shaco. Shaco?
Ah, whatever. Who knows?
The hat with the big ol' fancy hat.
How does a hat give you 1200 max health?
Is extremely armored, maybe. I don't know, but Boboka. Oh, the stun though. Gonna be able to slow down YDS. This is still a dead Winter Wyvern. They have the but he does manage to get the Winter's Curse off right before he expires here. There's the follow-up at SCCC. See Xiao Fu over here. The lift, the Spirit Vessel. No one's gonna get. Oh well, Boboka's gonna get hit with that arrow. He's just a little bit far back. But this is a very dead Mars. Is over on the side. They'll find this. Oh, Mirana. She thought that she'd be able to get away scot-free, and that is not the case. Cupcake.
And he got the gem back, so that's really the more important thing here is that the initial pick-off was like a gem loss, and they got it back. I think you know, any amount of gold that's given away in that fight doesn't really matter. It's all about what map control the gem gives you. As you can see, like Boboka runs through the jungle and immediately dewards one ward and a sentry. So,
Gosh, that's gonna feel so bad for King Gaming because not only do they have a Zeus who's ripping down all of your wards, you even have just a gem. So you can just continuously take down vision. They have no vision on the map, Jenkins.
but
Like,
you know
how
what?
do you go out there?
When you have this Mirana who's just constantly pressing Moonlight Shadow and they're smoking on top of it, at a certain point you're kind of triggered that they're just running around invisible constantly, and you're like, all right, let's get a gem, guys.
No, I agree with that.
Like, there's a frustrating amount of invis detection on Aster, but there's also a frustrating amount of invis on Keen Gaming, basically.
Gosh, remember when
Is under attack.
you had unlimited sentries, when sentry wards didn't have a what do you call
Those
it?
were the days, like a max stock.
When you would buy so many of them as a support that eventually the entire map was covered.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. Now you're forced into buying a gem.
Yep.
What about
Gems,
my freedoms
rapiers.
as a support? What if I don't want to buy a gem? Why
You know,
am
it's
I
funny
being
'cause
forced into it?
they've been trying for so many years to make supporting more and more interesting, but support players just like refuse to, like top tier support players refuse to do the fun stuff. Like they're just, okay, there's a century limit. Well, I'm gonna buy all of them out now. You know,
Invisibility.
wards are free. Okay, well I'm gonna ward.
Oh,
more.
wow. Fade jumps in immediately. Doesn't quite land that spear, but they saw it
Tries.
opening. I remember the first TI where the gem of True Sight, they told everyone, don't buy the gem. It doesn't work. It's in the game, but it does not work yet.
Really?
Yeah, that was a thing.
Wow. I had no idea. That's crazy.
That's how
Why-
in beta it still was at the time.
Why wouldn't they just disable it then for the tournament? I don't get
Maybe
it.
they didn't have time. I don't know.
That's
Ask
crazy.
Valve.
Back in the day when they were Valve
actually,
were
yeah.
noob programmers. That was Source 1. Oh, smoke into the high ground here.
Oh, that's a nice Arena of Blood, but where's the rest of the team? Again, Aeon Disc buys a little bit more time. They'll be able to take down Boboka, though. They won't be able to use that Winter's Curse as Etch-Triple-C. He's such a tanky boy. He'll turn back around. He's got a BKB. They'll go and they'll drop the Nimbus. XXS, though, needs to be careful. He might have bought off a little bit more than he could shoot. He's going to have to remnant himself away, but this Eye of the Storm and the Link doing way too much damage as they do manage to find the kill onto Xiaofu. But the rest of their team, they're missing the Ember, and they are missing that Winter Wyvern. Oh, Blood going in. The buyback coming out now from the Mars. They do have a lot of damage, but Chuan, he just can't do anything against this BKB. As Xiaofu jumps forward, they'll pop the Aegis. Backlines, it's just S-Triple-C and Fade against the world, but you know what's not going to help is when he just gets sundered by the Terror Blade here. Chuan, he's got his BKB. He's trying to get out of there. XXS is here. He bought back. He wants to help. Erica, he's still trying to man fight. He's not going to be able to. He's going to get taken down. The Lotus Orb coming out. Look at Fantasy. It doesn't matter. You can't run, my friend. Chuan, though, as well. He can't run either as Fade and XXS. Can they take down Xiaofu? It's looking pretty damn likely. He's a tanky boy. He's going to run out of his own arena. He wants to finally get that hit, but he's not going to be able to. It's a triple kill for XXS.
What a bloodbath that fight was. I mean, that could have been a disaster for either team. Like, you have Chuan ended up dying there twice, and with no buyback, dies the second time. And then also, we had like that Sunder onto the DK, who has no buyback, but then eventually XXS is able to buy back, which if he died, the game is just over right there. But he's actually able to clean up and kill basically the entirety of King Gaming. So if anybody doesn't basically clutch in that fight, one of these teams is going to lose, but everybody kind of pressed their buttons well and used their buybacks, so...
That was 3 buybacks, yeah. Success is gonna throw out a Spirit Vessel charge over onto... Oh, okay, XXS. No. That's a bit far. God, this guy's bloodthirsty, and I love it, but... He's gotta be careful, he just bought back, man.
He forced out the Marana ulti. That's it's something.
Something. Mid tower's gonna get taken out here. YDS can't do too much about it, unfortunately, as they just mow down this creep wave.
The prize is mine. Dire's middle tower is under
Dude, a
attack.
bounty were just sitting there at 47 minutes. That's always a nice pickup.
A nice little treat for Marana. That arrow?
I saw that.
That arrow?
We saw that, YDS.
A little bit off the mark. We'll just say
creep-
he was using it to scout Jenkins.
The creep spawns are weird. I don't know. I've definitely done that before in Marana. It's not when you're shooting arrows in the fog, you know, sometimes it's hard. Let's see, what's the level 25 status? So we have Ember 29, almost 30. He did go for the 12-second restore time. Wyvern, not even close. Our Zeus, of course, level 25. DK's got the 1.8x Dragon Blood HP regen at level 25. So this guy, he's a tanky boy. And Rubik, we have a 12-second telekinesis cooldown. So this is a 10-second cooldown, like 3-second disable at this point. Pretty solid, pretty nice. TB does have a Scythe of Ice, and he went for the Metamorphosis attack range, as opposed to the Sunder cooldown.
Okay.
Which we'll see if that pays off.
Is he just trying to stay further outside of the fight, or
I am not sure if that's what you want to do against a Zeus. I feel like it's maybe he can get more hits off when he blinks on the Zeus, but I don't know. I do feel like the Sunder would be probably a pretty solid talent this game, but we'll see. Maybe he feels like he's only going to get Sunder off one time in a fight anyway, so what's the point, you know?
I feel like the Mars. Look at them just. Oh yeah, they see him. They see him. Arrow tossed out. They'll just sidestep it nicely on the side of Aster. And just like that, the engagement's over.
Neither team really interested in taking some kind of random fight on no high ground. Like both teams really want to be disciplined about where they take this fight, because this one could be the last one. You know, especially with Roshan respawning in 1 second.
That is true.
Ah, there he is. Big boy's got the cheese.
Got the completed Bloodthorn now over on the Dragon Knight. I don't know. I worry that Terrorblade's just gonna have some, like, Xiaofu, he's tanky, but he's not anywhere near, you know, SCCC status. And they just kind of ignore him. They go for the supports in the backline first. I don't know. I just feel like Erika's not gonna be able to sit as far back as he likes during these fights and making use of that metamorphosis. I don't know.
And this is exactly where, like, the Zeus pick comes in handy in terms of the draft. It's just the reason that they can avoid Erika and just go for everybody else is because they have the Zeus, which is an answer to the TB. You know, like, that's always the nice thing about playing with the Zeus on your team against illusion heroes, is that you don't really ever need to deal with them because they want to go late, you want to go late, but you counter them in late game, so who cares if you're Zeus?
So this could be our big fight. We've got the smoke. We've got the cold feet dropped over here, the vortex rather.
Zeus has got his refresher if he wants to buy it.
Smoke. I think this is going to be our big fight, is around the Roche pit. They have to be careful though, because everybody wants this Roche. Everybody wants a piece of that immortality and that cheese. Wraparound coming out first from the side of Aster. Trying to get vision, trying to get any information. No one quite revealing themselves just yet.
They see the ward on the high ground. They know there's a ward up there, so okay,
Xiaofu jumping forward. Oh, but the blink out almost instantly. And this Mars is not in for a good time. He is just going to get obliterated as XXS jumps right in. Their blood being able to steal a decent amount of damage, but they can just walk away. And on the back lines, Erika, he's totally alone. The rest of the team has just totally walked away here. So he's going to try to man fight over SCCC, but eventually he realizes the team's not here. I can't. He has to TP out. That was his BKB too. Oh my god.
King Gaming is going so ham to try to get the Zeus on the back line, but to the degree where they're basically throwing the fight in order to get him, which, I mean, you have to do it. It always looks like throwing against a Zeus when you're trying to jump him at any cost. But with Mars being dead, I don't think there's any way that King Gaming can fight this.
Meta's down 2 on the Terrorblade. It's going to be very difficult if they try to get in that pit. And look, they're not even going anywhere near it, Jenkins. They realize, okay, we're going to have to take a loss on this particular fight, because they just can't do it.
At this point, I believe Rapier is the play on Terrorblade. I don't think there's anything else you can really do.
And even then, I'm concerned about that. Like, I don't know if he can withstand what they're tossing at him.
Actually, you know what? Maybe an Aghanim Scepter on TB would be good at this point. Because the big fear, you just fear everybody and focus the Zeus. Because everybody's, like, protecting the Zeus. That's the problem. I honestly feel like Ags is pretty good.
I wonder if he'll go for it, though. That's not a typical pickup that we see on Terrorblade. XXX.
It's not, but you know, he's... Oh,
he wants Fantasy so bad. And he'll find it. Get frozen into place. Erika is nearby. They ping him out, but they're not going to be able to quite grab him quick enough. It's YDS hiding in the corner. Nobody's going to be able to detect him at this time. He's out. These little pickoffs, though, especially like how fast XXS just zips in. It's so hard for the rest of King Gaming to respond. And they can't even, right? Like, because they're so spread out right now, too.
Yeah, I mean, they can't. They know if they respond, it's just a lost fight anyway. You're fighting into an Aegis and cheese. When you have somebody who dies immediately on your team, not good. Not good.
Winter Wyvern has a gem for both eyes now, since she picked off the one that Fantasy had.
Yeah, that's good.
What's going on over here? Blood? YDS? Looks like YDS is the bigger target right now, but they'll be almost finished with him very, very soon as XXS over on the side. The Lotus Orb comes out. Everyone's a little piggy over here. Blood, they need a little bit more damage, and XXS will be able to deliver.
God, the Razor and the Mars have felt pretty useless past the 30-minute mark of the game. It's just been the TB show, but it's a TB show against a Zeus. I mean, it's not easy. Like we see in these fights, he is getting absolutely shredded to the point he just has to leave. He just has to BKB and TP the hell out every single time.
This Ember is like the biggest thorn in the side of Keen. I mean, this. How often do you see your off-lane Ember Spirit getting the Aegis? And you see him being 14, 2, and 21.
Yeah, not often. Not often, but I mean, XXS, I should say, is just having such a phenomenal game. All right, TB, what's your item, man? You 7,000 gold.
Oh, Erica, buyback coming out from Mirana. She's spooked. They'll pipe up the racks. Arrow thrown out. The rest of the team just sitting very far back. Triple C gets pushed forward, but he's got a BKB. He's very tanky. Xiaofu, too, over here on the side. He's just getting chased down here by XXS. The leap forward coming out from YDS. Look how much damage XXS can actually hold on to. He'll be able to go throw out the net. BKB coming up for Xiaofu, but again, there's nobody left in his arena. They can't hold him down. XXS, he's getting focused so hard. They'll pop that Aegis, but Xiaofu, he just gets taken down by his own teammates thanks to the Winter's Curse. Arrow gets thrown out. BKB immediately coming out from XXS. Blood, he's not going to be able to stay alive much longer as he is just absolutely obliterated. And XXS, he's zipping in. He wants more, although he has to be careful. That sheep stick doing some work on him over on the side, but he should be able to find the kill onto YDS, although YDS gonna be able to follow up here. He still wants it. XXS, that's a little greedy, my friend. Lotus Orb being placed on him as he's gonna just TP away and come right back in.
Okay, at this point, if you're TB, man, just get the rapier. You gotta get something like this. XXS even picks up a Necrobook. He's just looking to straight push this with these heroes being dead for 90 seconds. They're going straight throne, it looks like.
They can. I mean, what are they gonna do with a Terrorblade and an Ancient Apparition? I've seen Terrorblades, they can, occasionally they can 1v5, but it's usually when they have that talent where they have the cooldown on the
Sunder?
on the Sunder, and also have a lot of defensive items, ways to stay alive. I just don't think he can. AA trying to do whatever he can, but there it is. There's the good game call.
They don't even try.
They can't.
I mean,
look at this, they just go right in on Erica.
Oh my god, see how fast he melts? I mean, I hate to chalk a 56-minute game up to draft. Well, okay, I'm not gonna do that exactly. But
you're gonna go close to it, though. It sounds like
I'm gonna go kind of close to it and say that I don't think you can just play straight for the late game against